Jay Parrish here. Knack over another Knack. Jump into today's topic. Get the start last week. It's not as easy as it seems. I sort of struggled a little bit, and I'm pretty used to these date function formulas. This does a series of things to make that happen. Well, here's my use case. You go here, the CRM I did, and they want to look at, they got a bunch of measurements, but they want to look at a weekly sales. It's like a Monday or Tuesday or whatever. They want to look at what happened last week. So this is what I needed. Today's Sunday the 19th. So when I call this up, it's always looking at last week. That's the 12th, which is the Sunday through the 18th, which is yesterday, Saturday. Sunday through Saturday. Now I want to show you how I got that. First of all, I'm going to go here, and I have a bunch of fields. Get today's date, get what today is based on the number of the week, 1, 2, 3, 4. Get the start of the previous week. All these are equations, by the way, except the very last thing here, the text forming that puts together everything in here. And by the way, notice I did all this math in accounts. I didn't do it in specific user role or even have it up here because I know I have access to it. Everyone's got a login, and I can shove it right here by putting in a detail thing of accounts and going to this field again. But let's go over here, show you how this works. Here we are with those fields. Now it's similar in a table. We get today's date, 19th. Get the number of the week. Sunday's number 1. Tuesday's number 3. So then I want to get what the start of this is. Now, it might seem pretty easy when today is the start, but it gets a little more involved. It's Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. It's got to be some math, go back, figure out what the start of the month is, or start of the week. Now, we're interested in last week. Late last, so you got to do some math to get back to last week. Now it's 12th, Sunday prior to today. So you got to do another formula that says, okay, what's the end of last? So you can do another equation. It says, okay, 12th is, and I add 6 to, by the way, it gives them 18. You don't add 7 because we're already including 1 in the actual day we're looking at. Then you put them all together. Let me make this a little clearer. If you want to actually implement this or anything like it. Here's the first one. There's a formula on your an equation. All you type in is get current date. It's going to give you a blank parenthesis. You don't need to put anything in it. It will result in whatever today. Here's another function. Get day of the week. Now, I believe if you put this in a text formula, it will give you Sunday spelled out Monday. But we don't want that because we're going to put math involved. So it's an equation, get day of the week. And it's going to ask what date are you talking about, because it could be any date. In this case, we're going to get today's date. That's the results in a number 1. There, I showed it. Now we want to get to the start of this. Today is the start. But this equation works for any day. It doesn't matter. We get today, so it's the 19th, and here's a separate equation. Get day of the week, which is number 1, but we're double dealing there. We can't minus 1 from the actual day. We're going to always minus 1 from the day of the week to get to where we want to go. In this case, parentheses, this is its own thing. Day of the week is 1. And we're going to tell it to minus 1. Well, no matter what, if it's Tuesday, it's 3, 6, whatever, minus 1. And this becomes a 0. Subtract that from today. It remains today the 19th. You get the logic here, but there's several steps. And some of these can be put all into the same equation, but I didn't want to do it. I want to see very clearly what was what. Then we'll just go through the rest of this book. Get the start of the week. That would be after this thing, but the start of it, start of the previous week, you're just going to subtract 7 from. That is, this thing had 12. And you want to know the end of the previous week. We're going to get the start of the previous week, which is 12. We're not going to add 7 because that day is already there. It's with on the week. We're going to add 6, which gives us to Saturday. And then up at the top, text formula, and we're just saying start of the previous through text, end of the previous is Saturday to Sunday, and that all comes out like this. Appreciate it. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.